flood warnings, of course, and those tornado watches in effect for the next couple of days in a system that we're going to have to continue to watch through midweek. Sarah, back over to you.
God, no let up. Angie, thank you. Joining us now, former FEMA Deputy Administrator from the Obama administration, Rich Serino. Rich, thank you for coming on. It's good to see you. Just how much harder is this search and rescue mission that is underway right now, given the fact that it is still pouring rain and how Angie just outlined there are still flood and tornado warnings galore?
Good morning. It's very difficult to continue doing the rescues while it's still raining, while the search and rescue is still going on. And one thing that I've seen that's been impressive is the leadership that has been shown, both at the local level, the state level, and the federal level, and bringing in and looking to see how neighbors can help neighbors, locally asking for people with boats to come out and help save people's lives. And we've seen that all throughout this entire event, and I'm sure we're going to continue to see it. At the same time, we know that can only go on so long, and the FEMA is bringing in the urban search and rescue teams, as well as Texas bringing in their search and rescue teams. So it's a cooperative effort. Right now, the main priority is saving people's lives.
Rich, it seems like this disaster is unusual in a number of ways. Huge urban area. It's a lot of water. I'm not sure if you have insight into how long something like this would take to drain. After we have search and rescue, there are going to be food and shelter issues and possibly, I imagine, health and disease issues as well. How much of that is FEMA positioned to take care of?
FEMA working in concert with the state, they support the state along with the locals, but also bringing in the voluntary agencies that are going to come in to help. There's no one agency that can do this alone. As we look at these events, these are very complex events, looking at how to bring together the voluntary agencies to get the right people to the right area at the right time, the federal agencies, the urban search and rescue teams, the USAR teams, going out, working where they're needed most, and looking at the first responders, the heroic work that the first responders have been doing for the last few days. And people are getting tired and realizing now that they have to look at, bringing in people to relieve them, as well as looking at others that you can bring in to help out. But one of the key issues throughout this will be the leadership, the communications, the coordination of all these various aspects. But also one thing we've seen is the compassion that has been shown at all levels.
No doubt about that, Rich. I wonder, once we get through this sort of rescue phase, how quickly we can start turning toward things like figuring out exactly what the scope of the power problem is, for example, and what the government role is in trying to move that process along and getting electricity back to some of these areas.
Well, once life safety is taken care of, and again, that's the first priority, and that's still going on in some areas. It's going to go on for days. But as that's going on, also looking at what the assessment's happening now. A lot of assessments are being done to look and see getting power back up where you can. In areas that have lots of water, it's going to be difficult to get power back up. And this is going to be a process that's going to be a long haul. Getting power back on, it could be 3 weeks in some areas. Then after that, looking at how to start to house people and how to start to look at people in shelters. And that's, again, a multifaceted, coordinated effort. FEMA's there to assist. The Red Cross is there to assist. Voluntary agencies to help rebuild and clean out houses, such as Team Rubicon, are all agencies that are lining up, being coordinated through the state. You have great leaders there. Nim Kidd, the state director in Texas for emergency management, has lots of experience, has relationships built already with the administrator of FEMA, as well as all the various county and city emergency managers as well.
Yeah, as we understand it, FEMA is sort of the central nerve center, putting all of these local and federal agencies together. The Coast Guard, Department of Health and Human Services, the Energy Department. Just how much of an undertaking is this for the federal government? And how big of a test is it for the Trump administration?
Well, this is a massive undertaking for any administration, bringing together all the federal assets, and the administration has said that they're bringing together all the different federal agencies in the National Response Coordination Center. There's you mentioned Department of Energy, the Health and Human Services, the Assistant Secretary of Preparedness and Response. They've been leaning forward, trying to get a lot of resources out there. But they can't even get into certain areas now, but laying the groundwork in order to do that going forward is key.
Some of these images are just unbelievable. Rich, thank you for joining us with your perspective. The former FEMA Deputy Administrator, Rich Serino.
Thank you.
And when we come back, much more on Hurricane and now Tropical Storm Harvey's impact on the country's oil refining capacity. Plus Plus, Uber has a new CEO. Recode's Kara Swisher weighs in. And later, Amazon officially takes ownership of Whole Foods. What does it mean for customers and prices? Find out when Squawk Alley returns.
I think that she's a very nice girl. You never got the brakes looked at.
Oh, yeah. No.
At Cognizant, we're helping today's leading manufacturers make things that think and do automatically. Imagine that. A world of new digital products and services all working